Hey, and what's up guys, it's Yuris here, and in today's video it is a vlog. Welcome! Guys, I'm going to visit Florian today. Maybe you remember the guy with the Brazilian scape? Yes, that's him. Today we're taking the final shot for the IAPLC 2021 contest, and I'm super stoked. I have all my camera gear with me. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes, show you what it is all about, taking a final shot, and yeah, I guess I will scape a review. So stick around, subscribe to my channel, you don't miss out the update on his aquarium, and yeah, let's go. Okay guys, just arrived here at Florian's place. Been a little bit of a ride, like 1 hour or something, and yeah, I guess I have to get used to vlogging again. And do we see Florian? There he is! So we will get inside and check out his Brazilian tank. Stay with me. So guys, I just arrived at Florian, his place, and check out this beauty. Oh my god. So what we're gonna do now, I have a GoPro camera on there somewhere behind me. I will put another camera in the other corner behind me. So I will let all the cameras run while we are taking the photo, and then I will talk you through. Basically, you will see it now, like in the next few steps, what is happening, because Logan will do the magic in his edit to make it look seamless for you. So I would say check out a little bit of a b-roll of that beautiful Brazilian scape, and then get into all the insights of how to take your contest picture. Okay, so now I have to remember everything we have done to prepare for the final shoot. But before we get to this whole, setting up the environment for the aquarium, what is even more important, what has been done the day before today. Basically the day before the photo shoot. This is when you clean everything. This is when you do your last water change. This is important because if you do it the same day, you do a water change right before you do your final shot, then the water is going to be cloudy, there is going to be things floating around, all that stuff. So make sure to get prepared before the day before you take the final shot. And also to make right that your stem plans, you can see here in the back the stem plans, they're just spot on, like perfect timing. There is a pro tip here. Every time you trim your stem plans, take notes, like day 1 I trimmed my plants, and then how many days it takes for each stem species to kind of, I don't know, to grow out and to look nice, where you would say, hey, this is how I would like to photograph it. This way you know, okay, the Rotala red needs 10 days, the Rotala green needs 12 days, and the Rotala orange juice needs 14 days. These are completely random numbers, so don't write them down, just coming up, just do that. Trim your plants, take notes, figure out how long they need to recover. And also stuff like the cosmetic sand, also very important, do that the day before the final shot. Ideally, you want to have your scent sort of mature. You can keep it sitting in a little bowl, on the windowsill, so it gets a little bit of a patina, so it doesn't look too clean and unnatural. So you want to reuse the scent that you kind of used before, so it's not super bright. Okay, so Florian has did all this. We planned out this day in our calendar. We knew today the stem's gonna look good. Yesterday Florian cleaned the filter, did the water change, refreshed the sand path, did everything, cleaned the glass, and then I arrived. It's what you have just seen on that video. And basically we have started by preparing the room. What we did for that was to blind that little window on the wall, and the shades, they were not enough. There was like a little frame on the outside where the light was coming in, and I saw a reflection on the glass. At that moment we'd used just little pieces of cardboard, and we kind of glued them with a sticky tape around the window to block out that reflection. So checked with the camera, we've been fine, no reflections whatsoever, but we noticed some watermarks on the outside of the aquarium. Very often when you clean the outside of your aquarium, you just use maybe a glass cleaner or something. You wipe it with, I don't know, a cloth or paper towels, something like that. Some calcium stains are going to stay there. To get rid of them, you need something that you can scrub them off. For that, I use just a little piece of sponge, a glass cleaner, and I cleaned the side walls of the aquarium. This is where you see the reflections the most if there are any calcium stains on the outside. So we cleaned these, we cleaned the front side, we removed the filter, we removed the skimmer. One more pro tip here: if you have anything inside your skimmer, make sure to lift it and then unplug it. Otherwise, everything what's inside is going to float out. So don't do that. And then basically the aquarium was all set. What Florian did as well, he removed some snails. They are in a little container or in a separate aquarium, I don't know actually, but so you don't have the large snails somewhere on the glass. As of right now, you see some pest snails here on the front glass, on the back glass. Those you have to remove, of course, right before you take your photo. Otherwise, you will be very angry afterwards, checking the photo on your computer and seeing this pest snail like in the middle of the shot. You don't want this. And now, taking actual photo. Very important, put your camera on a tripod so you have a steady picture. Then we tested different focal length. So first this is what I'm filming on. This is a Canon 10 to 22mm ultra wide angle lens. It just makes everything so big and so wide. Am I on 10mm? Yes, I'm on 10mm right now. And I can zoom in to 22mm as of right now. You see the difference with me. We did the same with the aquarium. So we photographed it on 10mm, we photographed it and at 22mm just to compare what the aquariums look like. And Florian said he likes the 10mm look because the aquarium looks just so much deeper. So yeah, when this was set, we said, okay, what is next? Next is the lighting. So we adjusted this, I don't know, suspended thingy, like a boom arm, something like that, I don't know. Anyway, so here Florian has a second light unit suspended above the tank, and we have suspended it in a way so it shines with a 45-degree angle into the aquarium to brighten up things inside without giving too much light to the foreground of the aquarium, and also not giving light into the camera at the same time. It was blocking some of the light from the main light unit. And of course, both light units were boosted to the maximum to get the aquarium as bright as possible, because now we will get to the camera settings. And this is where super bright light above the tank comes in super handy. If you have moving objects, you want to freeze them in motion. To do that, you need a fast shutter speed. This is the number 1/something. The bigger the number /something, you know, that something that is the second number, the faster the shutter speed. I guess everyone has seen waterfalls that look like fluffy, like clouds. Those are long time exposure. To do this, you make a 30-second exposure or something. With moving objects, you want the exact opposite. You want a very, very, very short timing. To do that, you need a lot of light. So in short period, you get enough light into the sensor. So for fish, to make them freeze, you need about 1/200th or 1/250th of a second. That's quite fast. For example, I'm filming right now at 50. 1/50th of a second is the shutter speed. That's because I'm filming at 24 frames for the camera geeks here who are watching this video. So that was our shutter speed, 1/250th of a second. Then we said, okay, let's keep the ISO super low. So we started with ISO 200 to give us enough brightness. And then we adjusted the aperture. Aperture is this lens thingy that closes and opens. And this determines how much light actually can hit the sensor, not the duration, but how much, because the smaller the aperture, the less light will get through it. But what the aperture does, if it goes small, it's the higher aperture number, then you have more depth, you know, in focus, like sharp. If you take portraits, they are usually quite narrow focal depth, But for the aquarium, you want to see things sharp in the foreground and at least in the midground. I'm not so worried about the background because it can get blurry, it can get out of focus. It even plays into the, the depth, the sense of depth in the aquarium if the background is slightly out of focus. So what we did, we used manual focus, we zoomed in and we placed the focus somewhere here in the front third of the aquarium. We also tested the fish. How do they move? Where are the fish going to be when we take the photo? So this is where we placed the main focus, and then what was behind that is not important. It will just make the aquarium look bigger because it becomes blurry, so it looks more far away. So actually we have had an aperture of 5.6 on a wide angle lens. It gets everything pretty much into focus, even at f5.6. I think I'm filming right now at f3.5. It's totally fine. If you're photographing or shooting an aquarium with like a telephoto lens, 50 mil, whatever, there you need probably a higher number in your aperture, so that you get all things sharp as you want it to be. And then the final sort of, knob for the adjustment was the ISO to get the exposure right. Like I said, 2 lights, maxed out brightness. So then we tweaked the ISO, I guess up to 400 or something like that. We used my Canon 90D to take the images, and it's not a Sony. Canon is not that good at high ISO, but ISO 400 on a Canon camera, if it's, not too old, it's a good number. You don't get too much noise in your image. And yeah, basically that was the technical part. Now we're coming to the compositional part, and what we did, we tweaked some of the plants. You basically take your tweezers, you go inside the tank, and you can take some of the stem plants and you push them back. So you arrange the, the tips of the stems so they get to the perfect place. It is literally like making a bouquet of flowers where you're arranging each flower individually. For the rotalas, a little bit here and there, we chopped off, I think, 1 or 2 microsorghum leaves that were in the front with a little bit of algae, so they become, so you don't see them. And yeah, that has been it. Oh, I forgot, there is behind me, you see the hair dryer. It is attached with a magic arm to this structure. This is, I think it's called their light stands, and they have this connection bar for backdrops or whatever they're used, or for overhead cameras, whatever. So we have this light suspended from that one, and we have, with the magic arm, it's like a friction arm, you can adjust it in any possible position and you can grab things with it. So it grabs with one arm the hair dryer, and with the other arm it's attached to the fixture. And then we tested out, okay, which position to point the hair dryer on the water surface to create this nice ripple effect. In the beginning we've been a little bit too far on the right side, and we moved more to the center, and we both agreed to that it looks the best where the air stream from the hairdryer hits the water surface, when it's above that empty space in the middle, like approximately 1/3, the rule of thirds here on that line. And then it was just by, I don't know how to call it, playing with the fish. I've been doing, waving and shaking my hands to get the fish. By the way, they are strawberry rasboras, at least that's the German name. And yeah, so with hand movements, we tried to navigate them where we needed them, and then to scare them a little bit with another hand wave, so they would make their swimming motion movement, so they have the dynamic. And then we took, I don't know, a couple hundred of photos. You press a button, you keep it pressed, and the camera makes like clack, 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 like 20 photos. And then it needs a little bit of time to process them. So we did that a couple times. So I guess my memory card is full with like 400 or 500 images or something. And by the way, Florian was the one pushing the button. That means he is the copyright owner of his own picture, of his submission, and he has been the one dialing in the numbers, and we just talked about that, and I gave him my advice, like how to do it and what to do it, so he can learn that stuff. And hopefully you have learned a little bit out of this video, because this has been it. I have filmed a few little scenes of that tank. I cannot show you too much because it's before the IAPLC. The final thing has been published. We are going to release the review, how it is looking right now, and also in the meantime we are going to make some adjustments to the aquarium. Those I'm going to show to you because why not enter the same tank into multiple contests? There are other contests out there, so we're going to modify the scape a little bit, and this is where I will take you again with me behind the scenes. Let me know if you want to see that happening. If you want, also hit that like button, that would definitely help the channel, and click the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet, and you will get notified when the new videos come out. Like I said, this is it. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.